Today, I'm going to be talking about something that's a little serious, something that's been weighing on my mind for a long time. We're going to be talking about how Mr. Peabody, from the 2013 animated feature film, Mr. Peabody Sherman, is a bad, he's bad. He's bad in every way. He's a bad character, him as a character, not good character. He's not a good person. Well, he's not a person, but morally, I guess according to my standards, morally not good, and also not a good dad. Now, I'll be talking about the 2013 adaptation of him. I know he's a character that's existed for a long time, and I don't want to bring in any other reincarnations of him who might have been good, but we're going to be talking about the 2013 version. So, I'm going to start off with how he is as a character. Okay, so most characters have an arc, whether how big or small that arc is. Basically, they start one place, they end somewhere different. They learn something, they grow, they change, whatever. Now, there are some characters who throughout every single thing they're in are the same. But the reason that they're the same, they stay the same, is because they don't change. They change everything around them. The first example that's coming to my head is Paddington. He doesn't really change. He might learn something, but he doesn't really change his personality. They're usually children's characters who, they change everything around them for the better. They change, they either a character has to change or they have to change things around them. And while Mr. Peabody has done a lot of accomplishments, as he brags in the beginning, which I'll get into later, he, as a character, goes through no arc. No arc. Literally, the only thing that changes is that he lets Sherman call him dad. Wow, bare minimum. Wow, bare minimum. Wow. It's so, the bar is on the floor for him. I don't know if because he's a dog, the bar is on the floor for him, for his, behavior. Yes, he's done a lot of great accomplishments, whatever, but, for him, as a person, no, I'm talking about him as a character. Him as a character, basically this part was really short. He goes through no arc, And so now let's get into him as a person, or he's not a person, but, you know what I mean, him as a person. He's such a schmoozer. Do you know what I mean? Schmoozing? Whenever he's around people, all he does is what he thinks will impress them. And to a certain degree, for the plot of the film, I understand, because he needs the dinner to go well so that he doesn't get his kid taken away from him. I understand wanting to impress people then. But in every other instance, he just has to be. When they go back in time to the Mona Lisa, and Da Vinci is you're not smiling. Oh my God, someone get her to smile. And he's he says, oh, let me give you. First of all, instead of just being oh, I think I can do something funny. Instead of doing that, which would have been fine, he's now, scientifically, this thing is objectively funny, and does it? And is it's basically he just falls on his face. Wow, wow, look how blank my stare is.
That's eyelashes, blank stare.
See how I didn't laugh even thinking about it? So, yeah, he just always has to be the center of attention. He just always has to be the smartest. And, it's okay to be smart, but sometimes you can be quiet about it. Yeah, sometimes you can just be quiet about it. He's never quiet about it. He's never oh my God, shut up. Okay, we get it. You're a smart dog. Who cares? And he's so, I'm not like other girls. Do you know what I mean? So, in the beginning, he talks about, even when I was a puppy, I wasn't like all the other puppies, I was different, which is fine, because he was different, so, I'm okay with him saying that, but, when this kid, it's okay, you want to be adopted, right? You want to be bought so badly. And so this kid goes up and is like, oh, fetch, fetch, haha. And instead of just being like, okay, arf, arf, I want to get adopted, he was like, no, I'm reading a book. Why don't you go catch it? And it's like, wow, no wonder nobody likes you. No wonder nobody likes you. He also says puns. Not okay with that. Not okay with that. I'm just seriously not, like, that's his sense of humor. Is academic puns. Wow, no wonder the only person he talks to is his son, who he doesn't even, God, see, like, his character and, like, how he is as a person, you know, I'm getting to my biggest gripe with him. He brags, he lies, he's arrogant, and everything he does is just to make himself look good. The movie literally opens with him doing a complicated yoga pose. He knew we were coming. He could have just been sitting in a chair. Oh, he could have just been like, hey, I know you guys are coming to film. Do you want me here? Yeah, okay, cool. Do you want to, something like that. He was like, I know these people are coming to film me, period. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be standing on my head and be like, I didn't see you there. And it's not cute. It's not cute. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't smiling. And by the way, I don't want anyone to get the impression that I don't like this movie. I like this movie. But him, I hate him. I hate him. Now let's get into him as a dad. Oh my god. There are some bad fictional dads. The dad from Chicken Little comes to mind. Who else is a bad dad? Darth Vader. He's a bad dad. Mr. Peabody is literally the worst dad ever. Like, he's the worst dad ever. First of all, he adopts Sherman. And in this little flashback, it shows how he's... Now, I'm assuming, right, that for a dog to adopt a human baby, he would have to go to the Supreme Court, right? This isn't, like, some local thing. Like, he, like, to adopt someone... If you're like a person, you don't have to go to the Supreme Court, obviously. But if you're a dog, I would assume this is big news. You have to go to like the highest level and like state your case, and like clearly that takes a lot of effort. That's a lot of pressure. That's like on a national level. And he does. He gets the baby. He gets Sherman, and Sherman, upon being handed to Mr. Peabody, reaches out and goes, "Dada." Most adoptive parents would be overjoyed if the baby they adopted reached out and called them, like, mom or dad or whatever. Overjoyed, because they're like, oh my god, like, I went through a lot to adopt you, especially him, because I'm assuming a new law, a new amendment had to be added for that or something. And so he gets the baby, and Sherman goes, oh, dad, and instead of being like, aw, he's like, no, no, just call me Mr. Peabody. Yeah, no. He says this to a baby. Like, not like, oh, a toddler, like, a baby who literally cannot even comprehend what he's saying. Like, wow, to a baby. That's how you know, he was saying it for himself. He was like, I'm never gonna let this kid call me dad. Now, by the end, he does. But I'm sorry, it shouldn't take you 7 years into having someone as your son to letting them call you dad. That's evil. That's evil. So, first of all, baby reaches out. Oh, dad doesn't even, like, have a nice reaction to that at all. He's like, no, actually, call me Mr. Peabody. Even though I'm supposed to be your father figure, don't call me dad, even though I'm literally legally adopting you. And it's like, that's ridiculous. Okay, I know another reason. So in the part where they're in Italy when they're going to visit Da Vinci, Sherman gets one of his planes, and Penny's like, oh, fly it. And he's like, I don't think I can. But then he does, and he flies it really well. Like, he's actually really good, surprisingly, for, like, a little kid. Like, he's really good. He's flying it. He's not causing any damage. He has good control. Mr. Peabody sees this, and instead of being like, whoa, you're flying, he goes, you can't fly. You can't do that. And what does Sherman do? He believes him and crashes the plane. If he would have just been like, hey, get down here, land the plane, he would have landed the plane just fine. Just fine, because Sherman knows how to do that kind of stuff, right? Because Sherman is my favorite character, and he deserves a better dad. But anyways, instead of just being like, oh my god, get down from here, he goes, you can't fly, you can't do this. and he crashed the plane. You caused your son to crash the plane. You caused this. You caused more harm to your son because you told him he couldn't, when clearly he could. Clearly he believed in himself, and you ruined that, and you crushed his self-esteem. That's, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Not only does it take him to literally the end of the movie, so about until Sherman is 7 or 8, until he lets him call him Dad. When Sherman says, I love you, Mr. Peabody, saying I love you to your dad, right? You know, that's great. When he says that, you want to know what he says? He doesn't say, I love you too. No, what does he say? He says, I have a very strong regard for you too. That is so evil. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Now I get it. Words of affirmation, not everyone's love language. Not my love language. You know, I usually don't initiate a verbal I love you. But if someone says I love you to me, and I do love them back, I'll be like, yeah, I love you too. Because it's not that hard. Because it's not that hard to acknowledge that just because, you know, that's not your love language or that's not your way of expressing yourself, you still have to know how to respond to other people's, like, love language. It's like in your family. It's not like this is some like random person. This is your family. Your family. Like, oh my god, you can't just say love you too. It is your son who you literally fought. Like, you literally went to Supreme Court to adopt this baby. What? And like he's like, I love you, and you're like, I guess you're kind of okay. Why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? That is so evil. Do you know? Sherman's gonna have to go through years and years of extensive therapy. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. It's so upsetting. Like, oh my god, Sherman's a sweet boy. He's sweet. He's like, you know, he's a little nerdy, but like he's nice. He's smart. He's, you know, excited about things. Like, it's like, aw, you know. And you can't even say I love you. Can't even say, yeah, you can call me Dad. It's evil. It's like literally, it's like he adopted Sherman. Wait a minute, did I just lock the hidden meaning of this movie? Wait a minute. Because I was about to say, it's like he adopted Sherman just to have him as like a little accessory. You know, like just a little like, ooh, look, I have a kid. Look how smart he is. Look, I had to fight for this kid. Like, you know, it's almost as if he got Sherman for publicity, which I think he probably did. Like, got him to make himself look good, got him for publicity, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like maybe that's what a lot of parents do. A lot of parents just have a baby because they, you know, want to look good or want to look like a martyr or, you know, just they have a baby for kind of, not because, oh, I want to have a kid and a family, but because they, like, want to look good and they use it as, like, an extension of them. Wow, I unlocked the hidden meaning of this movie. That's crazy. Look how smart I am. Yeah, so that's the video. I just don't like Mr. Peabody, period. I love Mr. Peabody and Sherman the movie. I know there's a show. Hold on, let me look up. 2. Mr. Peabody and Sherman 2. Hold up. Now, I'm excited for this. Oh, it's supposed to be coming this year. Wow. It's supposed to be coming this year. Just like The Croods 2, which I'm also excited about. Mr. Peabody and Sherman 2 and The Croods 2. I'm so excited for these 2 movies. But yeah, so love Mr. Peabody and Sherman the movie. Hate Mr. Peabody. I mean, I know he's necessary to the plot. And like, whatever, he's relevant. But like, I don't like him. I don't like him. So, yeah. So that's the video. That's me complaining about a cartoon fictional dog for 20 minutes. Oh, I have to cut some of this out. But, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.